Welcome to day number 2 of the Pod Trainer Accelerator, guys. So far, you should have done your goal setting. Okay, so we've only done one day so far. We've done your goal setting. We've come up with where we want to be. That's the most important thing to find out with your goal setting. Okay, what is your why? What are your goals? And what behaviours are you going to do every single day? Because this is about consistency. What you're going to do every single day to get you towards those goals. If you haven't gone through the goal setting chapter yet, and you haven't read those first few pages in the manual before the goal setting, you need to do that now. Don't jump ahead of yourself. This is day number 2. If you haven't done day number 1, you can't do day number 2. The next thing we're going to do is the measurements and tracking. So we need to know where you're at, okay? And this can be very daunting, okay? It can be very daunting for a lot of people because we are going to ask you some honest questions here. So we're going to get you to do some body girths, we're going to get you to do some measurements, okay? And we're going to get you to take some photos. A lot of you will probably say you don't want to take the photos. It is a necessary part of this program to take those photos. You don't know what you've done, what you've achieved without doing these things. You need a start point, and as we go through the process, okay, so at the end of the 28 days, we need to know how far you've come, you need to know what you've done, and you're going to do this moving forward as well, even past the 28 days. This will be the single most motivating thing you do, because I can guarantee you if you follow the program, you will get results. And seeing those results in real time, because when we see ourselves every day, it gets very hard to understand the sort of results we're getting. When you put down those photos in front of you, when you do the measurements, it just puts it in black and white. We do take weight as well, and sometimes people, and maybe you've done this in the past, sometimes people are obsessed with their weight on the scales, and that can become very unmotivating. It is one of the things we track, it's one of the things we measure, but we need to measure a few more things than just that to understand what we're actually doing, because it's not just about your weight on the scales, it's about your body composition, how you're made up. Okay, it's about losing inches, it's about changing physically, it's about having your clothes fit better. And photos, measurements, and weighing, because that will be one thing we do, will give you a bigger picture of what we're going to do. So once again, you need to go through the chapter. So chapter 2, for day number 2, you need to read from start to finish that chapter. It will explain exactly how to take measurements. The most important thing is you taking notes of how you take those measurements, especially the photos. How far away were you from the camera? Do it in the same place, at the same time, same distance away, because different photos in different places at different times. It will give you it won't give you a real view of how you're doing. Okay, so it needs to be exactly the same picture every time. It is explained in the chapter how to do that. Read the chapter, understand how to do it, get to the Take Action Now section and do exactly that. Take action, take the measurements, and then post them in the group. At the moment, it's a start point. It doesn't really mean a lot, but when we come later down the line, those measurements are going to mean a hell of a lot. And like I said, it will be a huge motivating factor when you see inches dropping off and you see yourself physically changing in photos. That's going to motivate you to keep going. And this is all about motivation. Okay, so keep going, get chapter 2 done, take action, and post in the group. See you tomorrow.